Hey everyone, and welcome to Lety Does Doctor Who. So first of all, Merry Christmas! And that means the Doctor Who Christmas special is here. And just want to get this out of the way right here and now. I've been working a lot for the holidays, so I'm sick. So sorry in advance. But anyway, I am so excited for this Christmas special. It's been half a year since we got any Doctor Who, and this Christmas special has been one of the things I've been waiting for ever since then. And the Christmas special for last year was pretty good, but didn't really satisfy my need for a lot of the Doctors. So this year, with it being Peter Capaldi's last series and he's leaving and, you know, we're getting a new Doctor and all this stuff, I really hope that this Christmas special is a good send-off for him. And I have my Clara themed outfit so that I can watch this episode in, because I hope that we get to see him surrounded by, you know, his companions. I hope to see Clara because she's my favorite companion, and I think it would just be a great send-off for him. But one of the things that I really hope they answer with this Christmas special is I hope they follow up with the events of Day of the Doctor, because Capaldi's run is almost over and they still haven't answered the thing about the calculations, especially since we saw in the last preview for this Christmas special that one is going to be there. And I haven't seen any of the older series, but I do know that that's where he's gonna regenerate, or he's gonna regenerate soon. So, you know, they mentioned that he's been doing the calculations his entire life, and yet it's about to be the end of number one's lifetime, and they still haven't mentioned that. So I really hope they answer that. I think that would be really cool to see. But you know, I think it'd be great to see him and 13 kind of work together and go save Gallifrey. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm not sure how the companions are exactly going to fit into everything else, but I also do hope to see Bill again, because I thought she was great and I was just so sad, and I really hope that this episode kind of picks up where we had left off with Bill, where she thinks the Doctor is dead and her run with the Doctor is over, and that this friend that she wanted to have that was so adventurous and fun and amazing just died right in front of her eyes after her herself had been killed. So it's Christmas. I really hope they kind of soothe out those feels that they gave me with that episode, because that was pretty heavy. And aside from that, that's pretty much all I'm looking for. I hope that this will be a great episode with a lot of interaction between 12 and 1, and that they have some playful banter going on, because they're both so older and wise and cynical. So I think they'll be pretty great to see interact with one another. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Doctor Who Series 10 Christmas Special, Twice Upon a Time. Let's get started.
You know who I am. You must.
No, he mustn't. You're older than
Take the
him.
ship back.
Way to go, Doctor. You broke time.
Everything's
Again. Oh, for some reason I thought that that was David Tennant. I'm like, okay, you got me. That was a surprise.
Neither of you is a doctor.
Okay. So time froze and this dude walked all the way to the South Pole? Is that the rocket fuel? Bill? Ugh.
Good luck.
Protected by whom?
Oh, just the other day.
Well, that doesn't usually work. Usually they want to fight me when I say it's protected.
May I in for a sip?
How did he have the keys to the TARDIS? Wouldn't have the keyhole changed?
This is impossible. 1.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Spoilers.
Younger.
I am younger. You know, I really don't think
I'm sensitive about that subject.
Oh dear.
Excuse me?
I realize that.
I am no one's nurse.
Yes.
I'm not even really registered in the medical field. Thank you very much.
Can be
Look what someone has accidentally left here.
His guitar!
sort of.
Are they being captured by the monks again? Is this a revenge episode? Oh no, that's the one that comes
The doctor.
after this.
Yes.
Bill! It's Bill! Oh, I'm gonna cry. Oh, I'm legitimately gonna cry.
Sunglasses. Indoors.
Oh, that's the best.
Well, it might help if you could see properly.
So take off the sunglasses. He threw them on the floor.
Doctor? Count for something.
They want to switch Bill with this guy?
Who the hell do you think you are?
The doctor.
I am the doctor. Who you are? I am
This entire time, one has just been kind of keeping to himself, and he's watching Capaldi do all of his dramatic. Bill, even in death, she looks so amazed. She's just so happy to be with the doctor. That's what got her killed in the first place. Damn it, Bill. I love how Bill still looks like she's having the time of her life, even though she's dead.
What do we do now?
Run!
Oh, there's still one TARDIS that they can take. It looks so different. It's not as big in the inside.
Trying to match her face.
What browser history?
But there's hardly anything in it yet.
Sex.
Me too.
Well, actually, I'm made of rocket fuel, and I think I know more about ladies than you do, if you feel me. Bill's just like, I'm not surprised. Most things want to kill you. That's not where he's supposed to die.
Stupid bloody arse.
With his ass on fire. What?
Can we just pretend?
No!
I'm a broad man.
That's depressing. This is depressing. Okay, that's strange.
Must be my friend.
Well, looks like the attempted killing has begun. Yes, I would. Come on in.
Makes one awfully frightened.
This guy just needs a lot more brandy in
I
his
must sound like the
system.
most dreadful.
Well, that's immensely creepy.
I am not a good Dalek.
You are a good Dalek. Oh! Did he just rip that off himself?
You know what?
This is so cool.
Professor Helen
That is so creepy.
University of New and Evil Plan.
I don't know what to do, and it wasn't what I thought it was.
Rusty? The captain in the wrong place.
What? How do you get his
We created
TARDIS
a
back?
whirlpool in time.
Did testimony come and give it
But why
back?
him? Somewhere.
Aww.
Right.
Everybody's important
Yes,
to
right.
somebody
Absolutely.
somewhere. Are they about to watch this dude get shot? Ah, the spirit of Christmas stopped the war! Does that mean that he doesn't die now? Are they all hugging now? Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Both of them.
But I mean, isn't that still breaking the timeline? We are the bloke. We are the bloke in the TARDIS. Oh. Okay.
I think I'm ready now.
Well.
But goodbye, Doctor.
He acts like he really can just hold off on doing it forever, like he's not slowly bleeding out regeneration energy. What? How can he see him? Or can he not see him? Maybe he just sees a cup like going up and down. What's wrong? Is your magician outfit not warm enough?
Letting you go.
Is he making fun of his own clothing? I just did that. You can't do what I do.
Oh, that's nice. We'll have to pretend
Oh
to like
no, this isn't gonna be a happy goodbye present, is it? But remember, I only like girls. Oh, I knew it! I knew it!
Hello.
Of all the people, it's
Stupid old
Clara.
man.
Go back.
I know what you're thinking.
Oh, Noddle!
Hello, sir.
Oh no,
Entitled
Noddle!
to think that your day couldn't get any worse, but here you are.
Oh, that's offending.
My nipples. Yeah, the hair a bit anyway.
You don't have any
No, I'm
hair.
all made of glass,
have
just not my
invisible hair.
nipples.
Got a suggestion
Not just
for
my
you.
nipples.
Oh, there.
Oh gosh. Well, that's just
You
sad.
both.
But when did Noddle die? I mean, everyone else was pretty much confirmed, but Noddle stayed with those survivors. Most of him was robotic anyway. Noddle felt left out. Felt left out. Cuddle. That's sad. Ah, not enough Clara. But bro, are you really
Yes,
about to
yes, I know, they'll
regenerate?
get it all wrong without me.
How'd you save Gallifrey?
But accept me.
Oh, that's sad. Oh,
Pass.
again with the pears.
But nobody else.
Only the children.
Nobody else.
Be for the children. And always wear your sunglasses. Aww, that's such a sad scene. Capaldi wanted to be the doctor so bad. God damn, Doctor, you broke everything again. You need to stop regenerating in the main console, damn it. Look at what you did. Oh, his ring.
Brilliant.
No, don't! Oh no. What does this button do? Well, that escalated rather quickly. Well, that escalated even faster. Oh, it just ended. Alright, so that was fun. I gotta say that I was expecting more plot things to happen. More like, you know, they were gonna explain the whole Day of the Doctor thing, and that this was gonna be, you know, 12 and 1 deciding that they need to go together and spend their last breaths as who they are, saving Gallifrey, and it was gonna be this whole team up type of thing, and they were gonna work together, the most recent Doctor and then the oldest Doctor, and that everything was gonna be so cool, and they were gonna do all this setup and give us a lot of answers as to the plot discrepancies that they had for Day of the Doctor, but that didn't happen. Rather, I think this entire episode was just supposed to be a very emotional send-off to Peter Capaldi, and you know, that's totally cool because I love Peter Capaldi. I love that he got the role, but this episode pretty much got us nowhere in the plot, other than, of course, showing us that Bill is dead, confirmed. I mean, when she first showed up, I kind of thought that maybe it was going to be like a hallucination or something, and that the Doctor was just tripping on guilt again, and that he's now seeing Bill, and he was going to need to, like, figure all this stuff out, and that was going to be his motivation. And then, of course, there's Nardole, who, last time we saw him, you know, he was still alive, he was in the colony ship, and I know that they had mentioned that he was most likely going to die on the ship because of the whole time difference thing, but they confirmed it for us in this episode, like, yes, Nardole is dead. I just thought that he would last longer since he's pretty much just a head on a robot body, and that a lot of things that would happen to biological organisms that would, like, you know, happen for death wouldn't happen in Nardole, but I guess he died. And then, of course, there's Clara, that I did not get enough of. That was barely anything. That was, like, less than a minute. But the Doctor remembers her now, and we got to see her again for our guilt and for our feels. But when I saw that this episode is going to come up and that this is going to be Capaldi's last thing, I thought that since Clara was such an important character to him, I felt it was going to be something like she's been traveling the universe for a long time, and then she finally decides that it's time for her to die, so she goes to the Doctor, and it was going to be this whole thing about how eventually everyone has to face the Raven in the end, and that's how this episode was going to go as well, but it was just, you already forgot me once, Doctor, don't forget me again. And honestly, he probably will forget again, but that's over with. That was Clara's goodbye. I guess that's it, but I was expecting all of that, and this episode, what I really did like about it is, even though it didn't get us many places with the plot, it really did feel like they incorporated so many things that are a specific send-off for Capaldi's Doctor, like how all of his books flew out of the TARDIS, and how we knew that he was so scholarly, and his books flying out of the TARDIS are like the TARDIS is being expelled of all of, you know, that specific Doctor shit. And then I thought that they were going to do something with his sonic sunglasses, and that they were going to, like, fall to the floor and crack, or he was going to lose them somehow, and it was going to be super dramatic, because that's just kind of his, you know, that's just his thing. So I thought that was going to be it, but instead we got, that after he regenerates, his ring falls to the floor, and that's a big thing for Peter Capaldi, specifically the actor, because I guess he has this, thing about how whatever role he takes on, he tries to keep his wedding ring on in some form or another, regardless of the character that he's playing. So for Doctor Who, he didn't want to take it off, so they incorporated it into the story itself for Capaldi's Doctor. So it just sliding right off of his fingers was just so sad. It was like a goodbye for Capaldi. His entire little speech at the end was so heartfelt, and it really did feel like a proper goodbye for Capaldi. But that also brings me to a proper goodbye for Capaldi and a hello to Jodie Whittaker, because the ring fell off and her hands got smaller because she's a woman now. So that brings me to Jodie Whittaker. And that brings us to the fun part, which is, how do I feel about 13 being played by Jodie Whittaker, a woman? And the reason I didn't touch on this before was because it honestly wasn't that big of a deal for me. It was just like when Peter Capaldi was announced to be the Doctor, it was like, oh yay! The new Doctor is being played by British actor! Good. Great. Who dat? But, I mean, I haven't really seen Jodie Whittaker in any of her performances. I mean, I've been meaning to see her in Broadchurch, which has been on my watch list for, like, forever, and I'll get around to it eventually, but mostly I was just excited that we were getting a new Doctor in general. So I mostly hope that 13 is going to be something like Missy when we got her introduction, where we didn't know who she was at first, but when she was introduced, she was just as evil and diabolical as the Master had always been, and she's trying to turn all the human into Cybermen, and then her first interaction with the Doctor is the Doctor recognizing her and how much of a threat she is, and just treating her as such a grand threat that she always has been, and treating her as the Master. So I really do hope that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor does end up being something to that degree, where we can recognize that she still is the Doctor, and that we don't have to worry about them trying to force her into the role and trying to make her this drastically different character. Because I hope that she finds her own vibe, her own Doctor that she can be. I really do hope that they make her kind of this fun and exciting Doctor, that we can have such a contrast to Capaldi's Doctor when he was first introduced, where he's just like, I hate you, and I hate the world, and I'm old, and I'm grouchy, and my kidneys are a different color, and I don't like it. So I really would like to see more of a younger Doctor from her, and that she can kind of have the space from the last Doctor to build her own character. But you also need to consider that this is the biggest change that the Doctor probably has ever undergone. And this feels like the beginning of a new regeneration cycle, but when 11 regenerated into 12, he just became old and disgruntled with reality. So having spent this entire episode with 1 and realizing just how old and sexist and stuck up that he is, made him kind of look at everything with renewed eyes, and made him want to be drastically different. And I have no issues with Capaldi's Doctor and who he was, because I 100% loved that he was kind of cynical, and that he wasn't always interested in, you know, reality and how the universe is. But that's completely fine, because that is his Doctor. But from when Capaldi's Doctor is first introduced up to this point, he's undergone a lot of change, and he's personally had a lot of revelations through all these people that he's lost and all these experiences that he's had to have. So I really hope that gets applied to Jodie Whittaker's character, and that we can see a whole different Doctor. So yeah, I don't really have all that many expectations for 13, or I guess I don't really know what to expect from her. I mostly just hope that they do not make her super masculine. That's basically my nightmare scenario, because it seems like in media they take this thing where if they want to make a woman super cool and badass and strong, they give her very stereotypical male traits. Like Furiosa in Mad Max was badass and she was tough as balls, and I could not relate to her at all whatsoever. I hope that she's just a normal chick, you know, and that maybe they can spend the first series just having her get used to her new form and accepting that this is going to be a really big change for the Doctor that she's never had to experience before. So not only is she gonna have to learn to be a new Doctor, but it's something that she doesn't have anything to reference off of either. So I hope that they keep her with whatever fun personality it seems like they introduced her with, and that they don't take things too far and make it kind of like an animated example is like Korra from the Legend of Korra series. It's like, yeah, you know, she's supposed to be a strong, cool woman, but she's also like really brutish, and her solution was usually like, I'll beat you up! You talking shit? It's like, you don't need to do that. So, yeah, I really do hope that maybe the first series is spent just kind of figuring her character out, and then later she can hone her character into something kind of like Missy, where she's wearing dresses and heels and putting on makeup and kind of embracing her feminicity, lady stuff, her ladiness, and that she can add that to her character, but that it's not necessarily a main point, because you don't have to wear dresses and heels and put on makeup. I mean, hell, the most makeup I wear on a regular basis might be makeup, and I only own like a handful of dresses. But it's also kind of like, I guess, a fantasy for women where it doesn't matter how you dress, you can still be super cool and badass, and you can still be a woman. So I guess that's why someone like Wonder Woman would be like an ideal character, where yeah, she's running around in skirts and wedges, but she's a superhero and she can do all that, and it's a fictional world, because I mean, in real life I'd probably just trip within the first 3 minutes of trying to run in heels. And that also kind of goes along with how a lot of people weren't happy with Claire in Jurassic World running around in heels from this T-Rex, and it's like, that's so impractical. Why is she running in heels? Well, yes, but she's a fictional character, and a bigger difference between her and the Doctor is that the Doctor is an alien. The Doctor is a super badass that can do so many things. Maybe putting on a dress or some heels won't hinder that. So, I don't know. I think that'd be pretty cool to see. We already got some like taste of that with Missy, and I personally really liked Missy, so I'm just gonna be referencing off of that and just letting Jodie Whittaker do her thing. So yeah, with all that, and with the footage that we saw from the end of this episode, I think that Jodie Whittaker's first episode is going to be that she has no TARDIS, her TARDIS just blew up, she's falling down to Earth, she doesn't have her Sonic as far as I can tell, and they're probably gonna skip past that whole regeneration fatigue thing, and she's gonna know who she is, and she's going to know she's the Doctor, but someone like Unit is going to come along and find her, and they're not going to believe that she's the Doctor. So her first episode is probably going to be spent trying to prove to Unit and the world and probably the fan base that she is the Doctor, and even though she doesn't have all these things, or even though she doesn't look the same, that she is still the protector of the universe, and she is the Doctor. So those are just my thoughts. But let me know what you guys thought of this. what your speculations are about the first episode and how that's gonna go down. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!
Hey everyone, Lety here, just wishing you a happy holidays from me, Hobo, Shaggy, and Charlie the Christmas Cactus! And thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking that circle button up there. Or you can check out some more of my videos over here. And you can check the latest news with my Patreon by checking out that video there. Hobo, love your new brother!